Well, we are back. Glad to be here for another season of AEHL Rinkside. Troy Gillard with you. And what better way to kick off the brand new season than to chat with the brand new commissioner of elite hockey here in our fine province, Aaron Rawlake. Are you getting used to that new title yet?
It's a little odd. The email's a little bit longer than it used to be, but we're settling in and learning the new role kind of on the fly. I got lots of guidance from senior management and our staff and the volunteers that work with me. So it's been good start.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that. And boy, you're jumping right into it with a whole bunch of fresh and exciting changes for this 2024-25 season. Let's get right into it. The AEHL this season unifying the AA level of hockey. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I mean, Double A was a place. It's we looked at it from the AHL side previously is really without a home. They didn't really fit in the grassroots. They weren't considered part of elite, and the AEHL was always of the mindset that they needed to be part of that. And membership agreed. The existing leagues agreed. So we've streamlined it all, brought them under the umbrella, and then really it takes the AEHL, so the mainstream side, to over 200 teams in our elite system in Alberta, and makes us the biggest league in Western Canada.
Very cool. And like you say, the AA level, there's a lot of great hockey players and a lot of great people involved in that level of hockey. So certainly has to be comforting to be able to get them in the fold going forward.
Well, for sure, and it fits the development model. We see a lot of players, they spend a year at Double A up to Triple A, and a lot of players jumping from Double A to junior hockey, whether it's Junior B, Junior A, and some even making the jump to Major Junior. So we felt it was an important piece to have as part of elite hockey in Alberta, and we're really excited to have them in the fold. It comes with some growing pains, and we're excited, scared, but it's going to work out really well.
Now, just before we go on too, I know you've got both logos behind you. You've got AEHL and AFHL. What can you say, Aaron, about the relationship between those two great entities going forward?
Well, and part of my role is I'm commissioner of elite hockey, which includes the mainstream side, which traditionally has been called the male side, as well as the female side in the AFHL. So I oversee both the AF and the AE, and learning the system on the AFHL side has been a great experience for me so far. Meeting the people that have been running the AFHL and are still working with the AFHL. Big shout out to Jody Forbes and Lise Cote, who are really the champions of the AFHL, and off they go doing their work, and keep me in the loop, and rely on me when they need. But really having one set of policy and procedures, one set of playing roles. Of course, we know the nuance differences between the mainstream and the female side, and that's okay. But really having everyone pulling in the same direction, and including the AFHL and the AEHL together in the elite hockey stream, we felt was a right move for membership, and what membership wanted.
We talked a moment ago about AA hockey, but at the U13 level, you've got a pretty cool pilot project happening when it comes to AAA. Aaron, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, again, so conversations with members, and of course, looking around the landscape of hockey across Western Canada, and specifically in Alberta, it was something that membership wanted. So we weren't quite ready to go full scale across the province yet. We've got some details to work out, but the North was on board with enough places that wanted to take the step into a AAA league. So we've expanded the AEHL into 13U. With the teams that are involved, 11 teams, kind of Edmonton North, so to speak, that are going to participate in that. And we'll review that through the year, and make sure it's working. Lots of feedback from coaches, managers, and of course the people administrating those, and the MHAs, to make sure it's a viable entity. And long term, I think it's no secret. Do we spread it across the province, through the southern Alberta, and we'll see how that forms out. Again, consulting with membership as how they'd like to see it happen, and we'll admit it up for them.
Very cool. Looking forward to seeing how that pilot goes throughout the year. Like you say, hopefully it can expand province wide once you get all the kinks worked out and whatnot. Now, this is something real exciting as well, the Western Canadian Development Model. And you mentioned right off the top about promoting players to higher levels, including the Western Hockey League, which is obviously the league I'm quite familiar with. But for those who aren't familiar with this new development model, Aaron, give us the Coles notes, and particularly how it pertains to elite AEHL hockey here in Alberta.
Well, it's really the best way to sum it up is collaboration and communication. So those two C's are probably the biggest pieces. Regular meetings with the AJHL and the Western League to discuss how things are going, how player movement looks, things like roster sizes, affiliation agreements, and cut down. This time of year is always a contentious issue. You know, players are staying at the CHL level, and we're waiting for them to come back to Junior A or come back to 18U specific, some at 17U triple. And how's that all going to look? And how can we communicate better, involve our coaches and managers at all those levels to make things as smooth as possible, as well as communication, keeping an open door with players and parents as to how, you know, that flow up and down a little works as well. So we've had a couple good meetings so far. Everyone's receptive to it. And I think that's something that's really going to blossom into something really, really good for all players from junior right down to 13U in the future.
Very cool. Now, on that note, Alberta coming off another very successful year when it comes to the WHL prospects draft, a second straight year that your system has produced over 50 players selected by Western Hockey League clubs here in 2024.
Yeah, 51 players out of the AEHL. It's been exciting to see a number of them sign their standard player agreements and make those decisions, as well as we've seen probably more than the last few years, an increased number of commitments to the AJHL combing through their preseason and startup rosters. It's just awesome for me to see the AEHL logo behind those players that are getting that shot at junior A, and then of course major junior, seeing, you know, those drafted players getting, you know, to go to camp, and the ones a year older playing in exhibition, and then some of them will stick as first year players. So it's thrilling for us. It's exactly what we want. Development is the name of the game, and I say this to some of the players that I know. You know, I'd love for you to stay, but I'm sure going to be happy when you move on.
Absolutely, and that's the goal, is to hopefully push these players up to bigger and, you know, elite levels of hockey. Stay in elite hockey going forward for sure. You mentioned earlier, right now teams are kind of in the process of finalizing their rosters and going through selection camps and all that stuff. But as we all know, it's a very busy calendar throughout the season at the elite level here in the province. Aaron, tee us up if you can with some of the exciting events that fans can look forward to throughout the year.
Well, we run showcases at all of our levels, and I'm going to glance down at my notes here because there's so many of them. It's tough to remember. Our first one on the
Yeah.
dock, first weekend in October, is our U18 triple in Edmonton. As we head into December, you'll see 17U, 15U in the first weekend of February. Traditionally, the same spot. It's always been. There's discussions about how we're going to fold 13U into that, as well as in the AFHL. And now we've got an 18 AA as well, actually, right here in my hometown in Lloydminster in December. Um, oh boy, there's so many. I'm second week in November. Uh, uh, wow. The first weekend December, and then third week in December, a couple in Red Deer, and then, you know, we move them around. We try and move them around the province wherever we can and get available ice and easy travel for everyone. And those are always well attended events. And then and of course this year as well, we're hosting a national championship, the SO Cup, the U18 female championship, actually here in Lloydminster. So you know, obviously the Lloydminster Steelers will be in it as the host, and we're we're really confident that whoever our AFHL champion is will stomp BC, and we'll have two teams.
There you go. That's the attitude you want to lay down right from the start, to setting that bar of excellence right as high as you can. But all in all, Aaron, I mean, hey, we barely even scratched the surface here today, but shaping up to be a real exciting year with all these changes, and another big year of elite hockey in our province is just getting underway.
Yeah, it's exciting, Troy. It's always fun to chat with you this time of year, and you know, give you the update of what's happening. I know we talked off air, and you're, holy moly, there's a lot of stuff happening, and we got a lot of work done. I mean, credit to the the people that were working with the AFHL and the AEHL and staff at the office in Red Deer to really pull this giant pyramid together within, you know, a 6 month span, and work with members, and that's really the focus now, is continue that engagement with membership. Enjoy this season. I mean, you know, we're back on flow hockey at all levels. AA will be a little bit hit and miss as they work out the nuances with that. No different than the EHL in their infancy. But I think we're going to put a really strong product on the ice across the elite system.
Awesome. I always love hearing all about it. Hey, Aaron, congratulations again on all the success in terms of the exciting changes that you guys were able to get done here in time for 2024, 2025, and have fun this year.
As always, Troy, it's a pleasure to talk to you in September, and we'll probably do this again in April.